So we're only 2 episodes into our review, and it just hit me today, like, this is a 7-season show, so we're gonna be here for a while. But then I got really excited because it keeps hitting in waves, like, oh wait, we're gonna get to rewatch, like, the whole show. It's been a while since I've even, like, I think since either of us have even, like, watched episodes of it.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited.
Me too. Like, this episode, I don't even remember, really.
Really?
Not really, no.
Actually, it's a really random, not quite, I guess you could say filler episode, but it's one of my favorites, actually.
After rewatching it, I really liked it.
It always stuck with me. I think the cloaking device, Anakin, and all that stuff. So I'm so excited to talk about this episode right now. So let's get going. Hello, everybody! If you're watching, if you're listening, welcome to Star Wars Old Republic Radio. Today we are doing the Clone Wars Season 2, Episode 16, Cat and Mouse, which is so weird to say because we're just now starting our Clone Wars review. But I just put out a few days ago on Instagram, I put it to a vote if we wanted to do the rewatch in chronological order or release order, and everyone voted, well, a lot of people voted chronological. It actually, for a minute there, was really close. And I was like, I don't know who's going to end up winning. But chronological won. I'm excited. I've never watched the episodes chronologically.
Yeah.
So I am excited about that. Because the first time watching the Clone Wars, knowing absolutely nothing about it, every time they jumped, I didn't know the show did that.
I didn't either.
So I was like, oh, wait, I remember this planet. And I just didn't really question why it was out of order. I was like, okay, whatever. More information on the episode, and the battle, I guess. But I'm excited, and it's really weird starting in season 2. But again, this is one of my favorite episodes of the Clone Wars, favorite filler episodes, I should say. We got a lot of little details packed in here. We did listener notes this week, and so thank you guys for submitting. There weren't a lot of notes, which is normal when we're first starting out like a show. But yeah, if you want to submit notes, again, Instagram, every Sunday, we're putting out a box. So if you watch the episode, submit notes, and then that following week, we'll bring it to the podcast and discuss, all the topics. It's super fun. It's one of my favorite parts of getting to do the podcast is just hearing from all of you guys and then getting to have conversations, during the week about it. I hope that you guys are watching the Clone Wars with us. If not, and you're just here for a recap, you're more than welcome. We're making jokes as we go, which again, we usually at the start of every show review give this warning. I meant to last week, but that didn't happen. Listen at your own risk, watch at your own risk, because we make the dumbest jokes and completely ruin episodes because of it. To us, it's funny, but it's some things I'm like, I can never see this episode the same again because of this joke or whatever. May or may not come up. I don't think it really happened last week, but you never, I guess.
Something liquid.
Yeah, but you just it's a listen at your own risk. It's funny in our opinion, but you have been warned. Although I am so excited, we're doing the Clone Wars because it is one of my absolute favorite shows that Star Wars has made. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that one. I'm speaking for Ruby. She loves this show. Which she's not here today, but she will be here for our next episode, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, we love it so much. We love getting to talk about it. And I'm actually really excited because when we first started it, I was like, I don't know how many people are actually going to want to do a rewatch. I'm like, we'll have, just our little group of people who want to, go through it with us, if even. Maybe it'll just be us. But we're here because we love it. We love Star Wars. We love the Clone Wars. But I am so surprised and excited by y'all wanting to join in. Thank you guys for reaching out and just wanting to talk about the Clone Wars. Thanks for submitting notes. Thanks for letting me know when you guys are watching specific episodes. I love hearing about it, and I love talking about Star Wars with y'all. So thank you. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. But before we begin, we have an announcement. If you follow us on YouTube, you may have seen we just did a Theory Saber unboxing, and it was so much fun. I stinking love that thing. And we're going to be doing more Theory unboxings coming up, probably like one a month about. And if you want to get a Theory Saber, go to theorysabers.com, pick out your favorite one, put in under promo code, coupon code, SWORR, SWORR, for 10% off any saber. I am so excited about that. We're partnering with Theory Sabers. So go get your saber. I'm not kidding. It is literally like the best quality saber.
It's so sick.
Yeah, that we have ever seen. The color, the brightness, the smooth
sound.
swing that it has is just off the charts, and I am so excited about it. So yes, if you want a Theory Saber, if you've been thinking about it, now's the time. I'm not kidding. It is literally so much fun. And if you want to take photos with a lightsaber, that's the one, because the brightness, like if you're doing the nighttime photos, the brightness, I didn't even have to do like camera settings or anything. I just put it in straight, simple night mode, and it caught it so well. It's just so fun. So anyway, without further ado, The Clone Wars, Cat and Mouse Season 2, Episode 16. I'm going to pull up listener notes, actually, and kind of read them as we go through the episode, because a lot of them were like, it hit the main points, you know?
I loved this episode.
Same. I did not print up the notes today, so we're going to pretend this is not a phone sitting here. I just know them off the top of my head. So our first note actually isn't really about the episode. It's with the chronological order. Watching this episode felt like a true continuation from the Clone Wars movie. Actually, I feel the same way. It's funny. We should have decided on chronological order to begin with, because this takes place right before the movie, and then the movie happens, and then it goes to Hidden Enemy, I believe. So we did it a little off, but I feel like I feel like it's okay since it's a movie to like start with, and then we're going back a little bit. It's really fun, and I'm
Star Wars
excited.
is all about going out of order.
Yeah, we're over here, we're over here, we're over here.
The animation switch was really big, which I thought was really funny.
Because when we go back to season 1, it's gonna be like terrible. I'm excited to go through, the episodes where the lighting is just like insanely bright. It looks like everyone has a spotlight on them. I'm so excited to talk about those episodes.
I love those.
You know what I really love about this episode is it's just a classic, like, it's called the Clone Wars. It's a battle, a war. That's what the whole thing is about. They're trying to get reinforcements and supplies and aid to Christophsis, and it's just a battle. You got the action. It's in crummy animation, but I love action scenes, and it was just so many good scenes here. Like, the heart was there for this episode. The animation, a little behind, but it's better than season 1.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I really loved it. It's a well-rounded battle. They bring Trench, as a character of like everyone's kind of heard of him and stuff, and we'll get more into him because there's notes on him. That's just what I love about it. It's just classic battle.
Yeah. You have your bad guy, then you have your senator in distress.
Classic, there's a Republic, the Separatist, and just like, I loved it. It really made me think, though, like, watching this episode, because it's been a while since I've been in, like, the Clone Wars mindset. Like, the Republic, is fighting against the Separatists. It's just wild to me that it's Jedi who are the generals in the war. Like, just thinking about how far the Order kind of fell, and you just see the corruption starting as they're not... I mean, in their minds, they think this is the best way that they can keep the peace, and, by fighting against, obviously, the Separatists. But it's just crazy that, like, the Jedi are these generals, like, going into war and taking their Padawans with them. It's just absolutely wild that they're, getting praised, throughout this war.
I'm curious how much, because that really affects the Padawans, because they're learning in this war setting rather than their masters who learned not in a war setting
beforehand.
So it's almost just like the generation of, I wonder if they have a name, like oh, I was a war Padawan. Like,
I know, that's true. They have like generational names, Gen Z, millennials. Anyway, I guess we could give them names, like be our own thing. But yeah, and just kind of like the Padawans are so young, their masters are like, "Yep, this is what we got to do," and they're just like, "Okay." And then a lot of them survive Order 66 down the road and are just like totally traumatized. Like, I was a part of this order and it fell, and now I'm realizing that it probably wasn't a great idea that we were involved in this war. And so just a lot. I love the layers. Again, the Clone Wars added so much story to Star Wars as a whole. I really like episodes like this. Our next note on the episode, it says, when Bail Organa asks for reinforcements to Christophsis to help with the bombers, he says the line, "Help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope." I love that one. I think it was "Help us, Obi-Wan, you're our only hope," but just like straight callback to the originals. I think that's what I loved about this episode is, you know, that feeling of like, is it just me? It can't be just me when it like all of a sudden you're watching like the prequels or you're watching the Clone Wars or whatever and they say a line like that and it just hits you like, whoa, like Star Wars, like it's just like I'm just watching history of what happened. Because in my mind, like the original trilogy, because this is the first thing I watched as a kid, is like, I guess, current timeline. Even though it says a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, it was like this is the where the time starts, and then everything before that is just like history, and it just feels so like cool and just like nostalgic, and you're like, everything that happened here is what led to the current timeline in my mind. And so then hearing things like that or whatever, it just hits me like, wow, like this is what came before, and like the events that led to Luke Skywalker and his story.
Yeah, exactly. And like this is the same Obi-Wan too.
Yeah.
Like in the same setting. Not
so
the same
crazy.
setting, but on a hologram.
Yeah, I just love it. And Obi-Wan, I was just thinking, you know how he shows up and Anakin's already like fighting and he's like typical, which again is like, this one really showcased the sibling aspect of Anakin and Obi-Wan because, you know, there's an airplane going by outside. I'm just going to keep talking unless it gets insanely loud. But, you know, Obi-Wan keeps calling Anakin and is like, hey, buddy, like, I don't do this, don't do that. And Anakin's like, yeah, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Or the part, you know, when they're calling and Obi-Wan's like, are you going to do this? And he's like, yeah, and just like hangs up. It's just like, it's siblings. It reminds me of me and you when we're just like talking and there's no like, you know, formal, oh, hi, how are you? And oh, I gotta go, bye. It's just like, so this is what I need. Yeah. And you just like, it's just like casual. And like, they're in the middle of this war with there's a lot going on. This is a full on battle. And whoever wins this one, it's a big deal because Christophsis has the resources that both sides need. So it's like a big deal. But Anakin's here just like, getting it done, you know, like,
no, I'm gonna blow it up,
screw formalities, like I'm just gonna, and that's the thing, treated like this whole, you know, side mission of taking down Trench as like a side quest, you know, because he's going to Christophsis and he's like, yeah, I'm going to Christophsis, I'm gonna do something first, you know, and he just like, he does it so easy too.
Yeah, it really reminded me of movie Anakin, just because he's just doing his thing, especially in that, I don't know, his relationship with Obi-Wan just seemed more like movie Anakin. Like, he's not mad at Obi-Wan or anything, but he's just like, oh, hey, master, like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and...
Yeah. And just, like, you're just doing what has to be done. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna do it my way. I'm not gonna listen to you. Because he has a respect for Obi-Wan, but, again, going to show, like, these Jedi being thrown into this war is general. Like, if you get a direct order from somebody, you're like, I gotta follow this no matter what. But Anakin getting order to do something and being like, no, I'm not gonna do that is just like showing these are the generals they have in this war. Sure, it works. It's reckless. It works. But it's crazy when you like take a step back and see what's, you know, going on.
Yeah. It reminds me of that scene in Attack of the Clones when they're going after the assassin.
Yeah.
in Coruscant. That's what it reminds me of.
I couldn't find a speeder I really like.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That was a really good impression.
No, it wasn't. Thank you, though. I'll take it. I had something on it.
The bread posters.
I dare you. We just... Jacob, if you're watching this, you did not see that happen. By the way, shout out to our friend Jacob Huff. Go follow him on Instagram. He's the Huffmeister. He does amazing art. I'm trying to get him to do Star Wars, so go in there and like message him and say you should do Star Wars, buddy. I meant to give a warning at the beginning of this. It is very humid right now. We are in Texas, and it is summertime, humid. These guys are falling off the walls like crazy.
You're dropping like flies.
Literally, they're dropping like flies. I meant to give like fair warning at some point. It's gonna fall. It's just gonna happen.
Decapitated.
And we keep it real here. If something falls off the wall, you're gonna see it happen. So, welcome to life. This is what I do about like 10 times a day is put a poster back on the wall. So, anywho, what were we talking about?
I just think it's funny that these are like signed, autographed, and they're like
just like hits the ground. Well, here's the thing. The ones that are like signed that I do not want to have fall off the wall, like the Clone Wars one, it has Matt, James, Ash, and Dee. That one is not coming off this wall. I made sure of it. The one, like Orlando Bloom, that is not falling off the wall. I feel bad. Amanis Fondi has fallen off the wall. Chopper has fallen several times.
Emily
He's
Swallow.
not right in the head anymore. Emily Swallow, she has fallen off the wall. Who else? Padme's done pretty well for herself. Oh, the daughter, she's way up here. She has taken a tumble multiple times. But anyway, and just yesterday, Gambit started like going on the fritz. So, he's still okay. He's in decent shape. But anyway, all that to say, the Clone Wars one and Orlando Bloom are the two I care about the very most. And I made sure that they will not fall off this wall. What I should do is make sure none of them fall off the wall. I am just so insanely busy lately. I do not have time to like properly secure everything. But yeah, it's very likely that another one is going to fall at some point. Hopefully it doesn't. But what can you do? Just put it back. At least, I mean, now everything's just a little crooked. I made sure everything was so straight when I did it.
I know, it was so funny because it started falling off like the next day.
Yeah.
And so we had like a level and everything, right? And we were putting them on so straight, and then the next day we're like,
I'm just like, that looks about right. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, our next note is Trench supposedly coming back from the dead, not only in this episode, but in season 7 as well. Which, that's what I like about this, is, like, Admiral Yularen recognized almost immediately at the beginning, like, I know this military tactic, and I know that this is Admiral Trench. What cracks me up, it actually made me think, going back to Anakin, but first let me explain this, is how every, like, what's the word? Like, I don't want to say military dude, but you know, that's what I'm trying to say is every officer, I guess, has an MO, and like this is usually how they operate. You know, we know them so well. They're gonna try this tactic, and like you have tactics and you reuse them, and it's kind of like the mental battle of war is like trying to figure out who I'm fighting, how they're gonna do it because you just know them. And then there's Anakin, who just like does whatever the heck he wants and no one can figure it out. So when they're like, what the heck is happening? They're like, Anakin, there he is. Like, that's funny that you can tell it's Anakin by just like that's a reckless dude. That must be Anakin. So it's funny to me. And he proves it in this episode where they're like, Trench didn't even know like Anakin or like who he might know who he is, but he doesn't like, he never said, oh, this is Anakin. Mm-hmm. He just knew it was a Jedi. Mm-hmm. He did not expect that Jedi to do what he did. But anyway, yeah, I just thought that was funny. And then again, Trench, I need to say, is probably, next to Krell, most hated character for me. I cannot stand that guy. Because there's, like, people like Darth Maul, who you're like, I love him. He is so stinking cool. Super bad guy, but he's awesome. He's got that ear piercing and everything. Like, dude, he's awesome.
And like General Grievous and stuff.
Yeah.
He's not my favorite, I'm not gonna lie, but he's still like... I think he can be a loved
I'm very
character.
impartial. I don't, like, hate him. I like the episodes that he's in. I like the movies. Or the movie. I don't love him and I don't hate him.
When you were talking about Officer MOs, I just thought of Mace Windu when he's like, Grievous will run and hide like he always does.
Yeah, that's what Grievous does. Actually, though, you know the episode where they go to his house?
Mm-hmm.
That is like a horror film. That is a horror film. I rewatched part of it the other day because it was just playing in the background. And I was like, oh, I can't wait to talk about this one because it is so freaky. Oh my gosh. But anyway.
Climbing and swinging around his house.
We digress. I cannot wait to talk about that episode. But when it comes to Trench, yes, he was supposedly dead because before, like, this war, the Clone Wars, there was, the corporate alliance who started, like, aiding the separatists and stuff and like that. So he was a general or admiral or whatever he was during that time. And he was supposedly killed in battle because they took out his ship. And so for him to be back, he's all in one piece. He's looking fairly decent, I guess. But I think the next time we see him in the Clone Wars, he's got, like, prosthetic arms. He's missing an eye. So he did. I mean, he blew up. And I guess supposedly the second time he was blown up. But the second time he actually, like, took damage.
It's like a cyborg.
Pretty much. Kind of like Grievous, but a little... Did you know that guy, Trench, he's 6'2"?
Hello, ugly.
Like, I was looking him up, just finding out some information on this guy, and it said 6'2". If a 6'2" spider walked up to me... There's no amount of fire in this world I wouldn't use against that guy.
I pictured him more like a 5'5".
Like shorter, but like he takes up a lot of room. No, bro is huge. Yeah, no, that like gave me, when I found out, full body chills. Like that is terrifying. 6'2" for a spider. And they just like the like.
Yeah.
That's why I hate him, is because every time he does that, it just, weirds me out.
Did blow up, and then he turned into a spider, like Maul.
Like shorter?
No. Like he blew up the first time.
So he used to not be, I'm pretty sure dude's always been a spider. I forgot the name of his species. It starts with like an H or Y, something like that. But yeah, they're very tall. Very tall. Or maybe he's just tall for his species? I don't know. But I would not want to go to the planet where they're from.
He's always the tallest kid in his class.
We're so proud he's going to do great things. Yeah, no, I did not like that information. It's like, information you wish you didn't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish I didn't know that. But I do, so I figured I'd tell everyone. That's when I would be like, that's when I changed my mind. I don't want to live in the Star Wars galaxy because there's spiders that big. Heck no.
You're like, Sith Lords, I'll deal with it.
I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Spiders? Draw the line. I would literally put I'd build a spider-proof house. Just for that. Like, no spider is coming within, like, a 10-mile radius of me. They'll just, like, poof. Sorry about your family. Sorry about your wife and kids. I draw the line. I don't have a big spider fear. I don't have a big spider fear. I have a fear of big spiders. So
that tracks.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we? Trench? Yeah, he just like, he seems pretty like vicious and like he's got a good strategy. not gonna lie. And he's taken out, like, ships with cloaking devices before. He's battled this. He knows what to do, magnetic signature, and all of this stuff. What I love about this episode, actually, is how, like, you're seeing their perspective and their perspective, even though they're, like, not talking to each other. So they're like, he must be using a magnetic signature. And then he's like, track their magnetic... So I like how that happened multiple
They're tracking
times.
our magnetic signature.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that. It's just, like, that back and forth of, like, both sides are very smart. And it's a mental battle of, like, what's the next move gonna be so we can stay ahead. It's like playing chess. War is a game of chess. Should have been, like, the beginning of this episode, their little quote. Which, again, actually, this is the first episode. We have, like, the quotes at the beginning, blue letter. I remember thinking, like, first watching this show, like, who's writing these? Who's writing all these? Because I'm genuinely curious. Was it, like, George Lucas, Dave Filoni, some other writer?
And then our question of which came first, the quote or the episode?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Or they're like, Steve, this is why we hired you. You know, like, the one guy has this
Steve.
job. They're like, not your best work this week, buddy. But anyway, yeah. So I was excited about that. I love, it's so random. Just have a quote at the beginning. But, yeah, which came first? The quote or the episode? It's probably the episode. Let's be real. But that would be hilarious if they're like, just pulling up inspirational, like, quotes.
They're all like fortune cookies.
Let's build an episode from this. Oh, that's a good one. They go out to their favorite Chinese every single time they're about to start writing.
Just talk to the restaurant. What have you got for me?
They're like, oh, they bring out, like, a fortune cookie, a single one on a platter. Like, here you go. Enjoy. Oh, man. Oh, this is a good one. The next note. Why did they never use the cloaking ships again? Imagine if the rebellion had those. Yeah, true. Which made me think, like, did they really never use cloaking ships again?
I don't remember.
Catch him.
I don't know why I always scream.
He just wanted to join the party.
He's like, I got something to say about this.
Right? Stupid humidity. But yeah, I can't recall them ever using them again. Which, again, I guess this was like a prototype. They still had it. It was intact. They just never, like, brought it out again. Just like a one-hit wonder episode. They were like, can't do that again.
As soon as you said one-hit wonder, I pictured it hitting the ship, like, as it...
No. Oh, no. It was perfectly fine. Which, actually, you know the scene where Anakin comes over to Obi-Wan's ship, you know, joining that party, and then, like, he's standing right in front of the ship, and Owen's like, if you were any closer, you'd be kissing. I wish there was a clone in the background that, like, runs into it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just, that's what I wanted. They wouldn't do it. If it was, like, a separatist thing, they would have probably had, like, a droid run into it, because that's more, like, in their character. How did he get over there? He's dead now. It's okay. He just...
Okay. Sorry, Jacob.
Yeah. Go follow Jacob and don't tell him about this. But the two droids that ran into each other, that was funny. So that was me and you if we were in the Separatist army. But anyway.
We'd be dead really fast.
Pretty much. We'd run into each other and die.
Trench would show up and you just run away screaming.
Yeah. He's so tall! Where's the fire? What was it? Oh, yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan. I just love that whole conversation, you know? He's like, oh, here's a ship. You're flying it, buddy. And he's just like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? I love how they call Anakin to do it. Because, again, like, we were talking about this last week, like, everyone in the war treats like Anakin like he's this war hero, you know? Like, if anyone can do it, it's Anakin. He's got this. And he just, like, he eats it up because he's Anakin. He's like, yeah, of course I can. I mean, he never really gets reprimanded for his reckless behavior, you know? They're like, well, I guess he won, so it's fine. And then he's got Palpatine's approval with everything that he does. And so since the Jedi are so corrupt in the political ways, they're just like, well, Chancellor's happy, we're happy, I guess. So it's drastically different from the movie. But yeah, I like that whole scene, you know, where Yularen discovers it's Trench, and then Anakin, you know, he's talking with him. He's like, I'm coming aboard. Spark.
Mm-hmm.
So adorable, seeing like a little clone cadet. It's like, and that's what we were talking, because they're all in the ship, you know, having these conversations. Yularen's talking with Anakin, and then it pans over to the other clone waiting for Spark to run up. He's like, hey, I'm here, you know, and the guy's like, you ready, cadet? I'm like, bro was totally like taking a bathroom break or something, like before, you know, they go on this battle. He's just like this, you know, excited young cadet. And then they immediately take off. So I'm like, it was just so cute. They were just waiting for him.
Mm-hmm.
So the little details, man.
As soon as he came on, though, me and Bo were just like, oh no, he's gonna die. But
that
he
was
didn't.
The thing is, because I was like, I don't remember what happens fully in this episode. I'm like, I think they all live, but I'm like, he's too, like,
They made
precious.
too much of a big
I'm like,
deal.
they can't kill a cadet. That is just messed up. Although he makes it to Christophsis, I'm like, probably dies there.
Oh.
But we don't think about that. He definitely lived.
All the way through the Clone Wars, through
Past the
episode
Clone Wars.
6 of Return of the Jedi.
He is
All the way.
He's living his best life right now. But anyway, I just thought it was so cute
Right now.
currently.
Right now.
But yeah, no, I just thought it was cute. And then, you know, they're not like being hard on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're like, hey, rookie, you know, you're gonna sit here so I can keep an eye on you. And then he, you know, does everything. And then, you know, the guy's like, yeah, you're officially one of us. I'm like, just all around, like, that was such a little sweet side story happening in this episode. It made me so happy. And so, yeah, I love the clones. Most of y'all know that. If you've been with us for a while, clones are very high on the, you know, favorite character list. He sounded a lot like Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I think
He sounded a little bit
agree.
more British, but he wasn't like quite so high as Tech. He still had the clone tone.
But I think it's because Dee was trying to give him like a younger sound than like, hey, rookie, how's it going? Oh, I'm doing great. So like, he's just like, at this point early on in the show, he's like messing around with characters and like, you know, the idea of like giving different clones different voices in the way they talk, because he's talked about it before. You know, he had an adjective for every clone that he voices, and so when he's like about to voice a specific character, he's like, oh, let me think of, you know, because for Rex it was like solid and like there, and then, you know, crosshair, snake like, and like, you know, just the list goes on because he voices so many stinking characters. But it's just funny to see him, like, you know, early on playing around. You kind of hear that in everyone's voices too, like especially James Arnold Taylor doing Obi-Wan, because he's even talked about this a lot on his podcast. Shout out Talking to Myself with James Arnold Taylor. Super fun. He is a great storyteller, and his episodes are just a ton of fun. But he talks a lot about voicing Obi-Wan and in the early years in the micro series, and just developing Obi-Wan, taking like Ewan McGregor, Alec Guinness, and trying to like bridge them together, and just like the progress that he feels like he's personally made with the character. It's super cool. But you can really hear it now, you know, like, oh, like, he totally sounds different than he does by the end of season 7, you know? It's really cool. I love getting to hear, like, the progression and things, and, you know, once we get to more Ahsoka episodes, like, Ashley's progression with the character, phenomenal. So the next note, it says, Anakin's unconventional tactics add so much to his character, a general in a galactic war, no less. Very true. I feel like we should have saved our Anakin talk for right now. But, yeah, like, I 100% agree. Like, even I loved, again, the conversation at the end of the episode where Yularen's talking to Anakin, because it was kind of like, it's very early on in the war, and so it's like kind of a first hands-on experience with Anakin. And Yularen's like, you're very reckless, but, you know, you got the job done. Palpatine speaks very highly of you. Like, yeah, we're good, kind of a thing. So yeah, I really love Anakin a lot.
Yeah.
And I think going through the season, I mean the show, honestly, that love is just gonna grow. I'm so excited to get more into this.
Which just makes the whole story just that much more heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really added that depth. Like now watching Revenge of the Sith, it's just like waterworks. But yeah, it's just such a good story. That's what I love about Star Wars. It's so deep. George really wrote it for like a reason. You know, he had a story he wanted to tell, and then getting into it more with the Clone Wars. It's fun, and it's, you know, heartbreaking a lot of times. But then you have episodes like this where it's just like, if you think about it in the long run, it's sad. But like this episode, I'm like, I really enjoyed it. You know, and Bail Organa too. He's just like there. I love that he's just trying to help the people. You know, it's great. Him and Padme, great senators.
Can we talk about how close Anakin was flying the ship to Trench's ship? Like, was that...
Yeah.
I was thinking, was Anakin just trying to test the ship to see if they could scan him? Or was he like, the closer we are, the less they can scan us? It could be either
you mean
one.
at the beginning? Yeah, like, that's what I love is, like, you have a ship with a cloaking device, you can be like, fleet's here, let me just go around. But he's like, nope, let's just... No, they can't detect us. Like, I don't know if they mentioned anything like that. Like, I don't think it made a difference.
Yeah, because it's been established that they didn't know if they could track it or not for sure. But then Anakin's like, I'm just gonna chill right here, and then Yularen makes that comment.
If you're any closer, they would need scanners to detect you. I totally love it. And I love, like, the foreshadowing by the end of the episode. He literally, like, just smacks into the ship. But yeah, I think that's just Anakin being Anakin. And then even, like, him making the decision, like, he is very, very calm and calculated under pressure. Because it's easy, like, when they sent out the hyena bombers, he could have been like, oh my gosh, they're coming for us! Like, let's just, you know, go into offensive mode instead of, you know, this. But he makes the decision. You can see the fear in his eyes, and then the decision, like, no, like, we're gonna wait and see what happens. Like, no, like, he just had this feeling, probably the Force, honestly, is just like, no, we're gonna wait. Let's just shut off everything, see if they pass us. And so just, like, making decisions like that is very, like, high stakes chance that he's, you know, just playing with fate here. But he's always right, you know, and things like that. He's just, like, showing again, like, he's the chosen one. He's, like, so powerful in the Force, and, like, just doing decisions like this. Like, things come so easy to him that are so hard for other people. And it wasn't very hard for him to, like, defeat Trench. You know what I mean? Like, this guy has, like, a reputation, and, like, people know about him, like, oh, and Yularen was pretty freaked out by him and is like, oh, no, like, you don't want to mess with this dude. I know him. He's going to do this, and then we won't have a chance. And Anakin just, like, it doesn't seem that hard for him. He just, like, takes him out.
It reminds me of how Qui-Gon was talking to Anakin's mom and just saying, like, he can see things before they happen, and, like, these other abilities that just come with being a Jedi.
And how, I think it's cool, Trench was, like, he recognized that. And, yeah, like, you're thinking while Anakin's, like, maneuvering, especially when he's firing, like, all the laser fire's coming, and he's just, like, he's using the Force, and so it's a cool aspect to that again, like, just, it reminds me, I'm very nostalgic, I think, going through with this, like, series. It just reminds me of being a kid, and to me, like, the Jedi were so cool. And I'm like, oh, I wish I was a Jedi, I wish I had the Force, I could do this. So, like, seeing Anakin, like, he's using the Force, you know, just for something so, I guess, practical in a way. It's so cool. It makes me so happy. I'm like, the Jedi are so stinking cool. So.
Yeah. And, like, how the Force can be used in very obvious ways and then in not so obvious ways.
Yeah, like, just enhanced abilities to be able to pilot better, you know, which is Anakin's specialty.
Yeah, and running really, really fast.
Yeah, just the not so talked about one, not so common one. I mean, if I were Jedi, I'd probably, how does that work? You probably lose energy? Like, do you get tired doing that? Force running?
Is it your energy, though?
That's what I was just thinking. Is it your energy or, like, using the Force? Probably a mixture, but because, like, using the Force does take energy, and the stronger you are in the Force, and, like, the more you can do.
Like Baby Yoda?
So, depends on the Jedi. They should do Jedi, like, relay races. Yeah. But it's force running. Yeah, okay. Random little thing. Maybe
They're passing lightsabers and have to not kill each other.
Bro, while the clones are, like, stun blasting them, you know? Yeah. They can have this whole, like, Jedi Olympics.
Yeah.
Bro. Force jumping. Force running.
Swimming.
Kit Fisto. Yeah, dude. Let's make a fan fiction. Make it happen.
And his Padawan pre-Grievous's lair.
Yeah, rip. Rip Kit Fisto's Padawan. But anyway, let me make sure. I think that was all the notes that we had.
Jedi Olympics. I'm for that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, no, that was everything. I loved this episode. It's gotta be one of my favorites. This might be a pattern with me, though. But this one I remember, like, even before we started, reviewing it, I was like, I love that episode. And so I'm so excited to, next week, we're doing Hidden Enemy. On Sunday, this Sunday, on our Instagram, I'm putting out the listener note box for the Hidden Enemy. So if you want to submit notes, we will discuss them on the podcast. You can go follow us at StarWars_old_Republic_radio this Sunday. And that's another one of my top episodes is the Hidden Enemy. And I feel like we quote that one the most.
We do.
I also want to say thank you to all of you watching on YouTube, all of you subscribed on YouTube. I am so excited. I didn't expect to grow so fast, which obviously we're at like 380 something followers, but I did not expect that. Thank you guys so much for all of your just comments, all of your DMs on Instagram. You guys are so encouraging. I just love this community so much, and I just appreciate all of you. Thank you. We're really trying to work on growing the YouTube right now, and it is just so stinking fun, having video versions, doing the podcast video, doing other random videos, which we're planning. We're so busy right now just trying to get podcast episodes out, but I know as we go and we get into this rhythm, we're gonna have time to do other videos and things too, so keep an eye out. We're definitely doing more Theory Saber unboxings. Again, use coupon code SWORR SWORE 10% off. I'm so excited about that. And if you get a saber, please let us know, because that is so stinking awesome and I want to know which kind you've got. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and for all of you listening as well, we appreciate you guys so much. You can also, when it comes to reviews and things, the podcast, that's a big one, is leaving reviews really pushes out the audio version of things. So if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, if you wouldn't mind getting us, if you wouldn't mind leaving a 5-star review or something like that, it helps a ton. You don't even have to leave a review, just click the 5 stars. Or, if you hate it, 1 star, totally fine, I'll accept it. But yeah, just thank you guys so much. We're so excited to be back. This reception is insane, and we love all of you guys so much. Also, you can go subscribe to us on Patreon, and I want to thank all of our patron members. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much. We appreciate you guys so much, because it takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of money to put into regular episodes, and you guys are helping so much. We appreciate you, and I literally, I'm so excited about that, so thank you guys. We will talk to you guys next week when we review the Clone Wars season something, episode something, Hidden Enemy. So I'm looking forward to that. Until next time, I've spoken.
Yub nub.